I'm about 10 degrees too warm from my preferred soaping temperature, so I'm gonna let that sit a little bit longer, but I figured I'd go ahead and do this part. I was not going to do any more of this design, but something happened at the farmer's market yesterday that I'm going to be doing one more of the Taiwan Swirl. So what had happened is I have a customer. Let me backtrack. Yesterday was the very first market back for the season, for this year's season, and I had a customer that I haven't seen in, gosh, probably 8 months, and she bought her favorite soaps, and she's like, did you make that XYZ fragrance I've been wanting? I'm like, no, I haven't, but I've made these. She's like, well, I really want that one. I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and make it. She said, great, I'll see you next week. And I'm like, it takes 6 weeks to cure. And she's like, okay, well, I will see you in 6 weeks. I wasn't planning on making it just yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I have kind of a slower day, so I go ahead, take advantage. It's windy outside, it's a little bit cold. So not a pretty spring day to be outside, so I'm inside today. This is the coconut lime verbena from Nurture Soap, and she wanted this fragrance, and I had made other coconut ones, but she wanted this one. And I'm like, okay, well, I have it, I'll go ahead and do it. I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just do a quick one pot wonder. I'm like, you know what, I'll go ahead and do it one more time, because I don't know when I'm gonna have a chance to do the Taiwan Swirl again. And a couple things, I'm actually doing Nurture soap supplies for everything. The colors I'm using, I'm gonna do 4 colors. I have Potent Purple Mica. This one I believe is discontinued, but it does morph. It does not stay purple. It kind of goes to a gray, a flat gray. And I'm going to be using Eye of the Tiger, Force of Nature, and Material Girl. You can see it in the sun. So this one, that Potent Purple, if you can see it, is beautiful as a mica swirl. It's really a pretty color. But it does, again, morph in cold process, which with this I'm okay with. I was thinking maybe I'll do a black as a contrast, but maybe that gray will be a neat contrast as well. And I have my Handmade little dividers. I need to go ahead and set these up. But I did want to say one thing. I used these, I think last year, actually more than a year ago. No. Backtrack. I used them in January of last year, and then I used them, I think it was in May or June, for another swirl, the Oasis Swirl. So they are kind of hard to clean. The handmade ones, I have them, they're just made out of a thick cardboard, and I covered them with a clear packing tape. But a lot of times the cold process, even if you have stuff clean, they still have kind of an oily residue. And that was the issue I was having. I did go ahead and clean these from the Taiwan Swirls that I'd done this past 2 weeks. And I grabbed this cheap microfiber cloth that I've had forever, wiped them down. After I wiped them with regular cloth, I wiped them off, and it got all the oily stuff. So get a set of cheap microfiber cloths for that. So this is going to be a bright soap. It's supposed to be well behaved. It does discolor to a light tan, so which is fine for these 3 colors. I'm not going to put any of the fragrance in that middle one. My plan to do, I'm going to do 2 loaves. I'm going to do my first one for sure with the green in the middle, and then I'm going to do the orange and the pink on the sides, and I'm going to do kind of not a one pot wonder. Actually, I guess it is. So not an in the pot swirl. I'm going to do, like, I'll pretend this is all the orange, and I'll put some black, or not black, but it'll be kind of a gray color down the sides, and then I will pour it in that way. So I'll do that for at least one, maybe both of them. I'll see what it looks like. If I decide to add that color maybe to the green on the second loaf, I might do that, but I will, I'll figure that when I get there. It's kind of funny with soap making. When I first started back in 2016, when I first started making soap, it was very difficult for me because of the patience aspect, because I'm very much a want it done yesterday type person, or I was, but it was very hard for me to not have an exact plan. And it was very hard for me to not want to know what the inside of the soap looked like right now. So I really feel this has taught me a lot of patience and a lot of kind of flying by the seat of your pants, which I don't know if I've ever actually admitted that out loud until now, but it really kind of is. I've noticed when I've been making soap lately, it's, kind of have a basic idea, and then I'll be like, okay, we'll just see what happens. And a lot of times as I'm making the soap, I will change my mind in the middle and just go with it. And I think in life, this has really been, since I started making soap, it's been a really good life lesson for me at this stage of my life, is to just kind of, really go with the flow and, kind of have a rough idea of a plan, because all too often, especially if you have been making soap or doing different designs, a lot of times things don't go the way you planned. And this is very helpful. And it also, you have these nice surprises when you cut the soaps open and things like that. So anyway, let my oils and my lye solution come to the temperature that I like, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So I'll see you back here in a minute.